Now we position and attach the rails to the fluted corner posts. There are 6 rails in total, that's 5 void spaces and 5 shelves. The upper and lower rails incorporate 3 dowels and the 4 inner rails incorporate 2 dowels at each joint. The upper rail is for structural purposes only. Now, in order to ensure that the rails are true and absolutely horizontal, we have to reference the dowel holes on both rails in an identical manner. We can, however, check this accuracy at any point in the procedure by installing 1 dowel in each joint, then fit the 2 posts together, and if accurate, the end should remain absolutely flush. Let's get started. Now, the way I've set this up is that I'm going to reference for the 2 extreme rail ends, we're going to reference from the top down and from the bottom up. Now, to do that, both ends, both posts must be identical in length. So this is your reference face here, reference end there, so there's check mark here and here, and there's a check mark there and there. So we line these up with these. Now, the wood thickness is 7/8, so of course a 7/8 half to 7/16 less 3/8 is a 16th, where we install a 16th washer in between the reference bracket and the reference block. And we slide it up to the end and reference it perfectly. Be very careful with this measurement because we're doing the same on both ends. And drill 1, 2 and 3. This rail is 2 1/8 in width, so therefore we can get 3 dowels and perfectly equidistant in there. Now we come down. Now we'll set the extended distance gauge. One of them, if you've only got one, you'll have to change the setting. I've got 2, so I just now this one is set at 10 and 11/16. We've got 3 shelves that are approximately 10.5 inches in width, or the space, and 2 at 12.5. So this is space here, here, here. This is 12.5, and this is 12.5. This bottom one does form part of the shelf. So we bring this up here, align it with the end of the extended distance gauge, which is set at 10 and 11/16. Now I've already drilled these, but just to give you an idea. Now, so it's the same setting. You want to try and remember, when you're doing this, before you change the setting, you've got to do the one on the other side to make sure that the distance gauge is exactly the same setting. Make sure it's absolutely parallel to the workpiece. Hold it nice and firm, tighten, and once again we drill 1 and 2. Remove that, slide it along. Move this down to the last hole. Once again, make sure it's perpendicular or horizontal. Make it a nice snug fit, and then drill 1 and 2. So now we're changing. You either have to change your setting, or if you're lucky enough to have another one of these like I have, then we're ready for the next setup. Again, we use the last hole. Make sure this is set at 12 and 9/16. Well, of course, it depends on what height your bookcase is going to be. That's good. Now, I haven't drilled these 2, so we'll finish off with these 2. Finished. As I said before, at any point in this procedure, you can check your alignment by placing 1 dowel. So you don't need them all because they'll get extremely tight and you'll have difficulty getting apart. So 1 dowel at each joint, and then mate them up and join them. I think this goes this way. This is the top end. Okay, now absolutely flush, absolutely perfect, couldn't get any better than that. We are now ready to dry fit the assembly, and you'll notice I've used all the dowels. The upper and lower rails are 2 1/8 wide, so therefore we get 3 dowels in all 4 corners, and the rails themselves have got 2 dowels, absolutely equidistant. This strip of wood here is just to support these members until we get it joined. It should be fairly square, but we can always do a slight adjustment. And yeah, that's perfect there. Perfect. Now we can remove the support strip. As you can see, the finished assembly is really rigid, which is a testament to the strength and accuracy of this type of system. I don't think there's any other system would equal that. And this is all without glue.